Tracey the Sacred CEO here. Do you still hear the negative talk? You still hear the criticism? Do you still hear and feel the verbal abuse? Is it still replaying in your mind? We're going to get into it. How to silence the bullshit. Let's go. If someone would have told me I was getting a divorce at age 56, leaving my home and my business, I would have told them they was a lie and the truth ain't in it. Well, this is my divorce story. Welcome, welcome. I am Tracey, the Sacred CEO, and we are here at Life After Divorce Show, the #1 show concerning marriage, life, and love after divorce. And welcome, and thank you for being here. Yes, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can get the information of what's going on over here and when we're going live. And just for some more support on how to get through this thing called divorce, honey, we don't have to make it worse than what it has to be, okay? Now, those of you who don't know, I have left my marriage of 6 years. We were together for 8, and I left in 2022. Okay, I left my home, I left my marriage, and I released my business. And it's the 2 years have been rough. I'm not going to even lie to you. These 2 years have been rough, and it has been a journey. And the biggest thing I really had to do to help myself to heal and recover from an emotional, mental, and some physical abusive relationship was to silence the bullshit, silence the noise, silence the critical conversations, silence the negative talk that came from the ex. That stuff can replay and replay and replay in your mind. And after so long, depending on how long you've been in the relationship, you will begin to believe it. You know, if you had a mate who said, you weren't shit, and you were this, or you were, you're ugly, you're fat, and you can't do anything right, your cooking is bad, the way you dress is like a grandma, and just all of these really critical things to lower your self-esteem and your self-worth. That is an intentional process that goes on with mates that don't feel good about themselves. Think about it. If a man or a woman that you are connected to in a relationship or a marriage really feels good about themselves, they're going to feed love into you. They're going to feed words of encouragement. Why? They want a healthier, more lively, and in love version of you, so that you can be a better lover for them. And they genuinely want to see you evolve and grow, right? But somebody that is unhappy with themselves and thinks negatively of themselves and don't have a high value of themselves, they are going to project their feelings about themselves onto you. So let's get into, how do we silence this bullshit? How do we silence this negative talk? How do we silence this criticism? Because see, these voices can eventually sabotage your potential. All right. And we're not here to sabotage. We're here to heal and recover and live in love after divorce. All right. So the first thing is to become self-aware. Understand that that is not your conversation for yourself. Understand that that conversation was given to you. That conversation, that criticism was pushed down your throat. Right? It was pushed in your mind. And if you say it long enough, you begin to believe it. Remind yourself that you are your own person, sweetie. You are your own individual, especially now. You're no longer connected to the identity of the marriage. You're no longer connected to the identity of that person, right? Of the ex-spouse, of the ex-lover. of the ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, husband or wife. You're no longer connected to that person. So now you must have an identity shift. Think about the length of time you've been together. Let's just think about that for a minute. For me, it was 8 years, married 6. So the first 2 to 3 years, you know, the mask was still on. Okay. I mean, Golden Globe mask was still on. And then eventually, after that 3rd year, it started coming out more and more. After about that 5th year, now take it, we were married for 6. So after that 5th year, I remember right after, like right before the actual ceremony, I started seeing um, a lot of signs that this is a very unhealthy relationship. But in my defense, because I was hopeful and optimistic, I felt like, okay, doing the ceremony and coming together and binding ourselves as one in this ceremony, that things would change. Let me be the first to tell you, if it started off rough and rocky, and if it started off, not high energy, high vibrational, there's no way that a marriage ceremony, is going to change that. Okay. If anything, if it starts going into a low vibrational relationship, it's going to become even lower. Why? Because for one, if you allow certain things, they're going to continue. Okay. And I'm just going to give it to you clear. I'm going to give it to you 100% straight. We deserve what we tolerate. And I know many of us don't like to hear that, but I had to tell myself that. So I could no longer just keep focusing on what he did to me. I had to focus on what I allowed and what I accepted. Now, why I allowed it and accepted, that's a totally different show. Right? So remind yourself that you are not that person. Think about the length of time that you've been together, how long you've been receiving these terrible messages. You've been receiving this verbal abuse, this mental abuse. You just think about the length of time, and how long has this programming been a part of your belief system, right? How long have now you're not with that person and you're still feeling all of those things that they've told you about the criticisms of who you are or who you're not, right? So give yourself grace. Be patient. That's one of the main things. You have to give yourself grace, and you have to be patient, because if you're not patient about this, and if you think that you've been with someone for 10, 12, 15, 20, 28, 30 plus years, and you feel like it's just going to instantly, go away. No, that's not how that works. This is a programming that has taken a hold of your subconscious. So now, even though you are removed from your ex, it is still replaying in your head. That tape is still replaying itself. So you're going to have to do some things that is going to increase your self-worth. You're going to have to what? Change the channel. You're going to have to change the program. Okay. You're going to have to reprogram your subconscious. How do we do that? I worked at adopting more empowering beliefs. Okay. Limited beliefs. That's the main thing that criticisms can cause. Limited beliefs. They make you feel like you could only go so far, or this is all you are, and you could be nothing else. You can't extend and express yourself any more than what it is. They put you in this box, and that's all you are, and that's all you can do. So you have to adopt new beliefs, and they have to be empowering beliefs, because the limited beliefs hold us back from what we truly desire and who we truly are in this life. So they can also, you can experience with these limited beliefs, it can create negative events in health, and you could also experience a flawed more flawed version of yourself, right? You can actually, this programming of the criticism of what they have said to you can be so deeply rooted in your emotional, in your psychological, energetic body that you will actually start living it. Okay. So it's going to take some work. And it's not going to be easy. And I like to call it silencing the bullshit. That's the stinking thinking. And the cold part of this is it's not even your thoughts. These aren't even your original thoughts. These are thoughts that have been implanted in you. Okay. So you want to replace this negative criticism and negative talk and this negative, verbal abuse. You want to replace them with empowering beliefs. You also want to embrace the beauty, of the uncertainty. Embrace the beauty of who you are. And many times when you're coming out of a long-term relationship, or it can even be a short-term relationship, it just kind of depends on what kind of job they've done on you. You know what I'm saying? You can actually go in the relationship feeling, a zest for life, feeling a zeal for life, and feeling, all this potential and all of this possibility. And you leave out dog tired, little faith, discouraged, unimpressed with life, no more zeal. So you have to learn to embrace the beauty of the uncertainty. So when we focus on choosing the trust that we have to believe in ourselves more than what someone else believed in us. We have to choose to trust in giving without thinking about it, giving ourselves love. We have to change the channel. We have to change the program, because in embracing the beauty of uncertainty, we will return to living a consciously beautiful life. All right. And we can let go and really enjoy this new journey of reinvention after divorce, because that's what it's about. It's about reinventing yourself now. So, who is it that you want to become? So I had to think about that after the grieving, after the mourning, after the tears, after the trying to sit there and figure the shit out, and what did I do and what did not do and what could I have done and how I could have changed this. All of that back and forth going on with myself, I had to accept the fact that this is now my reinvention and my journey, and I have to do what I will with it. Okay. And it's all about me. It's all about me. So focusing on gratitude. I know for me, in that space when I was just out of my marriage and very confused and conflicted and didn't know if I was going or coming, honey, I had to get stronger in my gratitude. I had to choose gratitude and appreciation over everything. And the first thing that I was grateful for and appreciated was getting out of the marriage. That's the first thing I was grateful for and appreciated, getting out of the marriage. And I also appreciate being away from the criticism, being away from the negative talk, being away from the abuse. Okay. It allows you to be, more curious about your life when you begin to have gratitude and appreciation, appreciating that life never stays the same. Things are always changing. You have to embrace the change and just let the change in. Open yourself up to change. And that's going to be hard because you have all these memories and this old program of how you and that person survived, the things that you did together. Now you're on your own doing some of these things, such as having to care for yourself, right? Having to maybe possibly earn your own money, having to support yourself. And all of these things can be very scary. You can hold a lot of fear. So gratitude conquers fear. Okay. And gratitude is also a byproduct of love. Watching your environment, understanding who you're around. When you're going to reprogram your brain for success, you have to limit negative influences that are in your environment and in your life. Your subconscious mind is constantly absorbing information. And so you have to remember you are freeing your subconscious mind and you're freeing yourself from the critical information, from the verbal abuse, from the mental abuse, from the narcissism, from the gaslighting, from the lies. You're freeing yourself from that. So you have to constantly be aware of any negative information that you're absorbing, as well as any outside sources that's using information to form beliefs and shape your ideas on how you think and behave. Because remember, you're in reinvention right now. You're recovering. You're recovering and you're reinventing, and you are changing the channel. You are changing the program. Okay. So, with that, in watching your environment, social media, be very aware of what you are consuming on social media. Be aware of the negative information that comes from the daily news, from publications. Be very aware of gossip. Many times we'll go into someone else's life trying to avoid our own life because of the pain of what we may be going through. We have to limit the amount of negative information that we are consuming and taking in on a daily basis, because it plays on your subconscious and it feeds all of that criticism that in negative and verbal abuse that you received in the marriage. Okay. So as you work on reprogramming your mind, remember that proximity is power. Okay, I got that from Tony Robbins. Proximity is power. So surround yourself with positive and supportive people that support your happiness and support your healing. Seek out books and videos and music that is uplifting. Be very aware of the music that you're listening to in this very vulnerable time that you're in. Okay. Also, over time, you will find that your subconscious mind is more positive, encouraging than you think once you surround yourself and surround and put positive influences in your environment. Okay. Also, visualization. Visualization is a big part. See yourself happy. See yourself experiencing joy. See yourself loving yourself. See that trip to Dubai. See yourself on the flight. See yourself first class. See yourself sipping champagne, honey. See yourself getting off the plane and looking at the wonder and smelling the air. What is it? Mexico? What is it? Playa del Carmen? What is it? Panama? What is it? Puerto Rico? Okay. It could be Colombia, whatever. See yourself on your journey. Maybe you want to take a cruise. Okay. See yourself on the cruise. Visualize. Understand that by picturing in your mind the perfect, free, loving self over and over and over again, you will be able to reprogram your brain to actually make those things happen. Okay, visualization is one of those keys to success that many of the highly successful people speak about. Visualization helps to bring on what? Manifestation. Okay, so pick something that you are truly committed to, making a healthy reality, and spend 10 to 15 minutes a day just thinking about your new life, your reinvented life, your new creation, your new world. Take up hobbies that bring you joy. That's important. That book you want to write, okay, maybe too soon. Start by journaling. Start by journaling your thoughts, right? Go pick up a musical instrument. Maybe you wanted to start, you wanted to play the violin or the piano or, the drums. Like, do those things. What is stopping you now? You no longer have the gnawing of the bullshit in your ear telling you who you are. But you have to release yourself from the memory of the gnawing of the bullshit of the person telling you, the ex telling you who you are. Okay. So you're absorb the feelings of what comes up for you as you visualize, and visualize them as being real, right? Give yourself the opportunity to build your inner confidence so that you can manifest those things that you truly, truly desire. Also, just understand that you becoming more self aware is going to help you and your subconscious mind reprogram itself. Affirmations, big, big, big one. Okay. Each morning, I'm in here doing yoga. I'm in here doing affirmations. I'm doing deep breathing exercises. And as I'm doing yoga, what I'm doing as I'm stretching, I'm telling my body that I love her. I love you. You are so beautiful. And I also tell myself, you got this. You are your greatest expression of yourself in this moment. Honor your body. And I also tell myself often that I'm safe. I'm safe and I'm protected. Because many times in these relationships, when we are dealing with partners who may be a narcissist or, have abusive behaviors, many times we don't feel safe. And we internalize that in our bodies. Come to find out, I haven't felt safe most of my journey here on this earth. So I constantly have to tell myself that I am safe. I'm not just safe in my environment where I've made it beautiful and I've made it very appeasing to my senses, such as my plants and my candles and my incense and the cleanliness and the art. But I also have to be safe in my body, right? Because even in my marriage, I felt that I was in an unsafe situation. However, I learned how to navigate it because I learned that very early in childhood. So, what I found that I was just repeating a cycle that I had been conditioned and had learned in my childhood, right? I was repeating that in relationships. So have a lot of self work to do in this area of reprogramming my thoughts and my feelings. And once you begin to start really honoring yourself and giving yourself more self-love, and that begins to increase, what will happen is you'll begin to take more risk because you'll begin to trust yourself more, right? And you'll also begin to attract more positivity. That's what I found for me. I'm attracting a lot more positivity. And today I say beautiful things to myself. I go against all of the lies that I were told. I do not allow people to project their fears and their how they feel about themselves, their low vibrations and their low frequencies onto me. No, we not doing that today, right? So we have to shut up the chatter and we have to silence the bullshit. Okay. So those are some things that I do to help myself reprogram my subconscious and also just to give myself some more love. We all deserve love, honey. We all deserve love. Okay. So I want you, if you feel like you like this information that I've shared, go ahead and hit that like on this video, as well as share it with a friend that you know can really appreciate and value this video. Also, hit that subscribe button and make sure that you hit that bell notification so that you can be notified when we have different videos coming up and you can be on the one, honey. You can just meet me and share this information with me, and we can recover together. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this, right? All right. So it's time to reinvent yourselves, ladies. If you are over 40 and you would like to come into a community that is safe and also is supportive, and where we are reinventing our lives and we are sharing one to another on how to recover after divorce, meet me on Facebook at the Rebirth Collective Community. It's for women over 40 who are either divorcing, had maybe a bad breakup, or you are divorced. Doesn't matter how long you've been in a relationship or how long you've been divorced. Just come on over there and get that supportive sisterhood that you may need. Okay. Also, if you like to sign up for our email list, go over to lifeafterdivorce.com. All right. Because I'm always sharing stuff in the email, honey. I'm always sending you a little message about what we got going on. All right. I am Tracey Bryant, also known as Tracey the Sacred CEO. And I thank you for joining me. And you have a beautiful, beautiful evening. And remember, there is life in love after divorce.
Join our safe and supportive community for women who are over 40, recovering from divorce and in the process of a reinvention and finding happiness. The Rebirth Collective.